Well, we can see here the official badge of the Apollo program, and it has the theme of well, we can here see the official badge of the Apollo program, and the constellation Orion circumscribed within the big A of Apollo, and the three main belt stars of Orion are threaded by the trajectory, the artistic depiction of the trajectory of Apollo, which was to link the Earth to the Moon. So we see the theme of Orion, which is Osiris, the Egyptian father, sun god, here thrust into the official Apollo badge. And of course, Apollo itself is the Greek sun god, as if that could not be any more clear. It's important to note that there are 3 astronauts on every Apollo mission. So once again, we have the Trinity, and in Rendezvous with Rama, Arthur C. Clarke will end up the novel saying that the Ramans do everything in 3, so that's important too. Apollo, the rocket itself was a Saturn V booster. So here's the theme of Saturn. Why did they choose the name Saturn? Standing for the planet Saturn, and as we've also seen, I think, for Saturn stands also for Set or Satan. It's a derivation, and this will be critically important to understand the Lucifer project, because it all culminates with Saturn. Well, 33 minutes after Apollo 11 landed on the moon, Sirius, the star Sirius, which stands for Isis, happened to be just 19.5 degrees above the horizon, according to Richard Hoagland, who has researched this. And there is when Buzz Aldrin, Freemason, took his famous communion on the Sea of Tranquility. The message that was broadcast, of course, was that the eagle had landed, the eagle being the emblem of Apollo, but of course the eagle is also the emblem of Freemasonry, the double-headed eagle. Here we can see it with the 33 radian on top of the crown double head, and it also, being a critical Illuminati symbol, shows up on the seal of the United States. So here's the agenda being driven down the ages and being rammed into the collective unconscious of all humanity through this worldwide anxiously watched event. The landing date, July 20, 1969. July 20 happened to be the heliacal rising of star Sirius on the Nile. And this was an event sacred to the Egyptians. Now, the rising of the star Sirius on the Nile, on the river Nile, heralding the new season when the waters would irrigate the Nile, would have been around July 20, according to the reckoning of Hoagland and Bara, who have researched this, around the time when the Great Pyramid was presumably constructed. And this happened to be also the Egyptian New Year. The Egyptian New Year started on July 20th. It was therefore the annual symbolic birth of Horus, the son of Isis. The Egyptian New Year, that's when the new sun of the new year is risen. I mean, can it be any more blatant and powerful and intense than that? And it began actually not at midnight, but when Sirius, the star Sirius, which stands for Mother Isis carrying her child Horus, appeared in the sky just before dawn, because Sirius rises just before the sun. Okay, Buzz Aldrin, a or at least 32nd degree Freemason. He was risen, Masonically risen, in a mockery of Jesus Christ raising people from the dead. Was written on Montclair Lodge number 144, I have here written, in New Jersey. And he took a flag from the Supreme Council of the Southern Jurisdiction, as well as a Masonic apron, or is it pronounced apron? I think it's apron, to the moon. Okay, so Arthur Clarke was a guest at the star guest at the Walter Cronkite lunar landing broadcast. And the anchor, Cronkite, he had a desk that was on top of a very big-sized electro-optical device, which aided in all the visuals and data to help the broadcasters so they could read the information as it came. And interestingly enough, this complex device was named HAL after the computer in 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it actually had very similar display screens. The apparatus itself was even devised by Douglas Trumbull, or is it pronounced Trumbull? I think it's Trumbull, or Trumbull. I mean, the man in charge of special effects for 2001. The CBS studio where Clarke was broadcasting with Walter Cronkite was in New York. So here's the central importance of the city of New York to this whole agenda down the ages. And let's know that CBS by then had already adopted the logo of the eye, the famous logo. Let's see if I can show it. There it is, the famous logo of the eye. Which of course stands for the Illuminati. It's secretly depicting the Illuminati all-seeing eye. And even the computer HAL is famous for having had its eye, its cyclopean eye, the eye of Cyclops. Okay, now actor Keir Dullea, or is it Keir Dullea? Yeah, the actor who played astronaut Dave Bowman in 2001. He was 32 years old when the novel 2001 came out, the novel. And when Apollo 11 touched down on the moon, Keir Dullea was 33, the age of Jesus Christ. And of course, Dave Bowman metamorphoses into the Star Child at the end of 2001, the glowing orb of the Star Child, which stands or represents that awaited new evolutionary stage for all humans, which really secretly is the false Christ that the Illuminati want to bring to Earth. How many Freemasons were there on Apollo 11? Well, we know that at least Buzz Aldrin was a Freemason. Neil Armstrong himself was not, seemingly, but his father was. His father actually was a 33rd degree Freemason. Now, Neil Armstrong, like Stanley Kubrick, was a Leo, astrologically assigned Leo. So Leo is constellation Leo, can also stand for Horus. So here again, there is more symbolism. The first human to officially land on the moon, Neil Armstrong, was a Leo, Horus. So here is the coming age of Horus being brought on all mankind. It is also possible that the famous communion ceremony took place actually not 33 minutes after landing, which would be ritual enough, but maybe 3 hours and 41 minutes, which wouldn't seem ritual, but it actually is, because at that time Regulus, the star of Leo, would be 19.5 degrees, the tetrahedral angle, very important as Hoagland notes, below the horizon. Richard Hoagland was involved in covering the Apollo mission. And Arthur C. Clarke put the epilogue First on the Moon to the book First on the Moon by Armstrong just as Apollo 13 was taking place.